What is it like being a Canadian living in Jamaica? Hi, I'm Xavier Murphy, the founder of Jamaicans.com, and today I speak to Leslie McLeod, a Canadian living in Jamaica. Welcome, Leslie. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very well.
So
I'm here
tell
and
us,
giving thanks.
great, great. So whereabouts in Canada are you from?
I'm from the province of Ontario, and I currently live in Southampton, Ontario, which is near Owen Sound.
Okay.
So
All right.
on the shores of Lake Huron.
So let me clarify for folks. She lives the majority of the time in Jamaica, but she does visit Canada parts of the year. So
Yeah.
tell us the
The
story.
best part, the
The
summer
best
part.
part. Well, let me ask this question.
Yeah.
The town you live in, is it outside of Ontario or in the you're in the city?
I'm in a very small town. I live in a beautiful park in an RV in the summer, and then I come to my off-grid home in Jamaica for about 7 months.
Awesome. Awesome.
So yeah, I do return home. I do. I can come and go. So I come and go, but I don't prefer to go back in the winter. I go back in April, and I stay until the end of October.
Okay. All right. So
Well,
tell us,
sometimes I go back in July, and yeah.
all right. So tell us about your journey. How did you discover Jamaica? How did you make the decision to live in Jamaica?
Well, for years I was going to Costa Rica and Central America quite a bit, and I really enjoyed it. But I was kind of searching for a place that I could not have to learn a second language. And I had a friend that had a villa here, close to where I am today, and they offered me to come with a friend, and then I kept coming since 20, I think it was 2016. I came for 3 weeks, and then I came for 5 weeks, and then I came for 3 months, and here I am, 6, 7 months into the year now. So I love it because I feel at home here. I feel comfortable and at home. I didn't think I'd have to learn a second language, but as I realized, I do have to learn to speak patois.
And we're going to get I say Jamaican, but I know most people know it as patois. We're going to get to Jamaican patois later on. I'm going to ask a question about that. So, what do you absolutely love about the people in Jamaica?
I love their open, they're very friendly, great sense of humor, and they don't take themselves really seriously like I think some other parts of the world. I find they're more they just go with the flow. They're very easy. Yeah.
So,
You know,
when you
they
first
love their
got
music and yeah.
So when you first got to Jamaica, was there any cultural difference that caused you any confusion?
Oh, definitely. Like I really felt that when I was first coming, I really had to listen and ask people if they could slow down because they talk really quickly. And when it's patois, I wasn't really getting half of it. I'd be at a party and people were joking and laughing, and I have such a good sense of humor, and I love parties and stuff that I felt like I was an outsider for the first couple years until I really started to listen to maybe more newscasts and things, movies at home that would, so I could hear the accent more. But as I live here, I'm getting much better at it. But yeah, that was the hard part.
All
At the
right.
beginning, it definitely did feel like a bit of an outsider, as you would in any country.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So food, I believe you're in a restaurant and right now, and before we started, you were diving into some soup there. Tell us about the two favorite foods you love in Jamaica.
Oh gosh, there's just so many. I love their soup where they make like a red pea soup. It's beautiful with the chicken. I love their curry chicken. Um, Curry chicken, the soup. I'm not a big rice fan, and it's funny, back home I try to go mostly low carb, but there's a lot of carbs here, so you have to get used to that. Lots and lot, like a heap of rice, when at home we might have a couple of tablespoons on our plate. And I love the cabbage salad, the cabbage here, callaloo. It's just beautiful. You go to the market, it's everything. I love the fruit, the pineapple, the watermelon. Yeah, everything fresh and nice is amazing. And you can grow it yourself, sometimes too, if you live in a place where you can grow your food.
Do you grow your
Oh,
food?
I know what I love. Breadfruit. And nobody in Canada really knows what that is, but the breadfruit is a vegetable, looks. We do have some things, and we do have a farm, but right now it's all bushy. We got it right now because we're building our home. We have been concentrating on that instead of farming. So we've been buying our vegetables from, the trucks that park on the road, which I love shopping like that. It's so fun. It's much better than shopping in a grocery store.
All right.
Yeah, I prefer that. In fact, that's how I buy in Canada too. I buy from the farmers. So I prefer that. Yeah.
All right. So you said we. I didn't dive into it, but I believe you married in Jamaica.
I did. So I've been coming here for about 7 years. And 2 years ago, I was introduced to a gentleman, a friend of a friend, and we were married last April. So
Congrats.
we're just finishing up. Yeah, we're just finishing up building a very small 350 square foot, mostly off-grid home. We just put solar panels in the other day.
Nice, nice, nice. So the music there, music is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
What are you liking in terms of which, I'm putting you out there. What artists do you like? Do you listen to reggae down there?
Oh, well, the traditional ones, obviously, Bob Marley, and I love Luciano, and there's so many artists here. Peter Tosh, one of my favorites. But my husband plays a lot of American music, so we have a lot of music, Celine Dion and all the old country music and things.
All right.
And so lots and lots of music all the time. You can hear it in the hills. I love the gospel music too. That you can hear it through the hills on Saturday and Sunday mornings. I love that. My windows are open, and you can hear people playing their music all over. And it's really neat. You don't find that in Canada. People kind of keep their music quiet in their own home, whereas here they blast it out, and it's neat. I like that. Yeah.
No. In terms of adjustment, what would you say was your biggest adjustment moving from Canada to Jamaica?
The access to things like, for instance, putting a house together, the access to being able to buy curtains and to buy, sheets that you like, just things. When we go to HomeSense at home, it's just all there. So you have to wait for things, and you have to be patient. And then there's some things that you don't get at all. So
no. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
as I say, the inconvenience. Well, especially where I live, because I live higher into the mountains, so it's not near a city. It's near a little village where you can get, some food things and little market things. So I bring things from Canada in barrels, and that's another fun thing. So yeah, I bring barrels down in the fall with things like olive oil, granola, certain kinds of crackers and snacks that I like that you either can't get here or you pay a lot for.
So what advice would you give someone who's thinking of moving to Jamaica?
I would say you would have to leave your ideals at home and work with what is available to you in the country you're in. Well, obviously in Jamaica. You would need to be patient and just not expect everything to be like it is at home in any way. You just have to and listen to what they're saying, because they know best. There's been a few times where I've had to say, oh, that doesn't sound right. I would do it this way. But no, you have to know that they know how to do things here, and you just have to leave all the things that you think are right back where they belong at home. That's all.
All right. Now, when you leave and you spend a couple months in Canada, what do you miss the most about Jamaica?
Oh, I really, sounds silly, but I really miss palm trees and saltwater ocean. I begin to miss the food, but I do miss the food from Canada as well. So when I'm here for that length of time, I crave all kinds of things, and I want to cook so many different things, have a barbecue and those kind of things. Have parties in my backyard. It's different, you know. It's just different, but you adjust. And yeah, what I miss is definitely the people are, you know, the friendliness definitely, and the music, just all the things I mentioned before, the simplicity. I think what it is, it's more a simple, laid back, relaxed life.
Right.
And I try to replicate that when I go home by living where I live, you know, by the water, in an RV park, very simple. I don't live in a lavish home. I've owned homes. I chose not to do that anymore.
Right.
Like in that regard, like suburban homes where everything's at your fingertips. I just backed away from all that. And I find it much more relaxing for the nervous system to live more in nature. And that's what it's all about, being outside, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, if there is a place that you've gone to in Jamaica, it could be an attraction, it could be, you know, maybe a hole in the wall or a secret spot. Give us that place that you're like, I just love
Oh,
this place.
you know what? There's so many that come to mind, but one of the places I absolutely adore is called the Roaring River. And then you can get in the beautiful river there and swim around, and it's just so beautiful and quaint, and they have watercress in the water where gentlemen can go in and pick it out for you. I love that, and I love the gentle. I keep calling it the Gentle Giants, but it's called the Jamaican Giants, where there's a beautiful place that you walk through up in the hills, and it's all big sculptures done by one amazing rock sculpture person. Incredible. So yeah, the Jamaican Giants. I love Negril. I love walking that 7 Mile beach in the white sand and snorkeling. But yeah, the Jamaican Giants and the Roaring River. Those are two places that come to mind for me.
All
And walking in my own neighborhood. Walking in my own neighborhood up in Anchovy and Mount Carey, where it's all hilly and it's great. I'm the only Canadian that I've met, and the only person from out of the country in my neighborhood.
Wow. Wow. So
For
I'm sure
years, I
people
lived
ask,
like this.
so I'm
Hmm?
sure people come up and ask questions. What's the strangest question you've gotten?
Oh gosh, um, I think the thing with the culture too that I really enjoy, I'm going to say this, is that they don't ask a lot of questions. Like they don't
Okay.
say, "Are you married? Do you have kids?" Like all the things that we ask as Canadians of people, like, "Hey, how many kids do you have?" Or I remember being told, "Oh, never ask that because if that lady doesn't have kids, you can make her feel bad." So you have to learn. I say ask a lot less and let them tell me. So they don't ask a lot of things other than the children are really cute in my neighborhood. They like to touch my hair and point out all my freckles, you know, and they're very fascinated by, you know, my skin color and whatnot. And they like to play with my hair. It's different for them, right? But
Right.
yeah, I don't think I've had any like unusual questions. They're just
All
very
right.
polite. I find the people very polite. Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
All right. Leslie, tell me some of your favorite experiences in Jamaica.
Well, I think some of my favorite experiences have been just sitting on my front porch and watching the people go by and seeing how busy everyone is here. And very early in the morning, you know, from 5:30 on, um, because my husband is a farmer, we used to go down at 5:36 in the morning, where the mist is coming off the mountains, and the cows were down there, and his goats, and planting very early morning, very mystical, very beautiful experience. And also just seeing people, as I say, sitting on my front porch, going by, the men in their boots or their machetes, just going to work and doing what they have to do on a given day, just being really, just doing their day and being happy, smiling, singing. Um, you know, my husband threw a front porch on our house yesterday out of plywood, and You know, we had the music going. He's like singing in the middle of it and taking time out to sing and dance and be happy while doing it. Never complaining. I don't find a lot of people complain. They're very
Nice.
grateful to be here, very blessed, very spiritual. And
Nice.
if I tried to explain some of the things that happened to me here to my Canadian friends, they would either think I was crazy or I was telling a story. But you just see things, like you see the most bizarre things. I think I might write a book called "Did I Just See That?" You know, like men riding motorcycles with slippers on and no helmets, and children on the bikes with them. You know, things that we would never see at home.
Right.
Um, all kinds of interesting, fascinating, but we accept how things are here because this is where we are, you know?
All right. So, Leslie, listen,
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
spending a little time with us and telling us about your experience living there in Jamaica as a Canadian. So, here's how I typically close in this particular series. Tell us your favorite Jamaican patois expression.
Oh, my favorite mm. I guess I just like the way they put the word dem in front of things, dem things, and you me ago, or you know, those kind of expressions. Oh, I know there's a lot of expressions, but I can't come to think of them. When I hear them, they kind of they're very charming and make me laugh, but I can't think of any offhand. I mean, wagwan, we all know wagwan and Medea, and how people greet each other. I love, like, I found my husband on the road. They always greet each other like, my family, brother, things like that. I just find it's so interesting how, and everybody has a yard name. That's another thing I find interesting, the yard names. My husband must have 10 names. Anything from fireman to historyman to all these different, it's so cute. And even the kids have yard names. So that's kind of fun. I don't have a yard name yet.
Oh my gosh. It's an honor to have a pet name. It's an honor to get a pet name.
Yes, yeah, it is. Even my mother-in-law, they call her Miss Tiny. So I call her Miss Tiny. It felt so strange at first, but that's what she wants me to call her. So, yeah.
Well, Leslie.
And wherever we go, people greet each other all the time. It's so much greeting, so much like yelling out the window at everybody, and everybody knows everybody. It's really cool. I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Leslie, thank you again for telling us a little bit about, you know, what it feels like being a Canadian living in Jamaica. And I'm going to use the Jamaican term, little more.
Little more. Yes, that's a good one. Okay.
All right. Thanks, Leslie.
Thank you.
Show us some love now. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss a video.